Today's video is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Do you like terrible anime? Well, Surfshark will make sure that nobody ever knows. Keep your browsing history yours with an 83% discount off a 2-year plan, plus an additional bonus month totally free at surfshark.deals/explanation point, link in the description. Now on to this. If you're like me, and dear God I hope you aren't, then your sense of pride and accomplishment and love for the creative projects that you undertake ran off to the rabbit farm back in 5th grade, and now all you have to fill that void is vicious laughter at the hard-wrought works of better people who pour everything they have into making something wonderful for the world to enjoy, only to fall flat on their faces and create a horrid mockery of the beautiful piece of art that shone so brightly in their imaginations, now wrought twisted and disgusting by the inexpert hands of its devoted craftsmen like a tragic experiment in artistic human transmutation. Ha ha, The Room. The idea of a piece of media being so bad it's good is one that fascinates me because of how specific it is. There are plenty of books, anime, movies, and people who are outrageously bad, but not laughably bad. You don't double over into an uncontrollable fit of the giggles while leafing through Heart of Darkness, but somehow Troll 2 really hits that spot. And what about shows like King's Game the Animation, which I adore, and which are terrible, but where the two have nothing to do with each other? Why can I watch a careless mobile novel adaptation like King's Game and enjoy it based on its own highly limited merits, while a genuine passion project like Lost Song is relegated to the dreaded ironic watch? Well, unfortunately, I think the answer is just that. Passion. Now, this is just an idea, but if people know that the thing that they're making only exists to line the pockets of whatever kind of company licenses out the rights to mobile novels, then they're gonna act like it. There isn't going to be one moment in that production where somebody makes the decision to take a risk and do something off the wall. Mostly because nobody likes that project, and everybody involved just wants to get home and drink and forget that they ever had anything to do with it. It's the passion behind the project, that unfaltering desire to make something good that allows so bad it's good media to exist, because, unfortunately, they succeed. Read any interview with Tommy Wiseau from before he started acting like he was in on the joke the whole time, and you will see him say the strangest things about The Room, like how it was the culmination of 20 years of work and intended to change people's lives, as though he meant for this film to be some kind of religious experience in an entirely different way than the film wound up being some kind of religious experience. It's that kind of ambition and vision and dedication to a project that allows Tommy to make the bold and brash decision that turned The Room into the cult classic it is today. In an interview with the man in Entertainment Weekly, Clark Coleslaw says that were the film perfectly mediocre, no one would care. Anybody can make a perfectly mediocre film. That's the definition of the word mediocre. So I am being completely serious when I say that it takes a true visionary to make an extraordinarily mediocre film. I mean, just look at the thing. There are so many plots and subplots in The Room that George R.R. Martin would get dizzy trying to explain it all to HBO scriptwriters. Drugs, gang war, breast cancer, affair, doggy, murder, other affair. Even if some of these plots are explored for literally one sentence in the film, it shows that The Room had this incredible ambition behind it that can't be imitated by people who don't care about what they're doing. And the failure of that ambition to realize itself is what makes it funny. Imagine if The Room were just about the first affair, or the second affair, whichever affair, your favorite affair. While we would probably see the reused footage of that sex scene 2 or 3 more times, the story that comes from that wouldn't have had any of the whiplash-inducing would-be dramatic plot twists of the original. Lisa would still tear him apart! But what about Denny's Money? Or You're My Favorite Customer? All these amazingly hilarious lines that arose, I want to point out, from Wiseau's insistence that the characters in his film speak like real people, so that he can make his grand commentary on the nature of love and human interaction. Even if nobody else involved with this film gave a spicy heck about the production, this guy sure did, and he was in charge, not them. And that's why The Room will forever be studied by film students the world over, because Tommy Wiseau's ambition and vision and passion for the project makes it extraordinary in its failure. But because this is primarily an anime channel, let's look eastward to find a counterexample to this. King's Game, the animation. King's Game is not so bad it's good. King's Game is bad. And I like it. But I don't like it because it's bad. I like it because I hate teenagers, and I love watching them literally explode under the weight of their own melodrama because they didn't do what the magic SMS demon said. And if that sounds hilarious, it's not. It's a fourth-rate teenage drama full of manufactured conflict and unlikable characters who are both put into and put themselves into ridiculous situations that make it impossible to care when they start flaying the skin from their bones because a text message from Jigsaw told them to. And why is that? Because nobody cared about this project. There isn't one line of dialogue, one bit of Sakuga, or even so much as a musical flourish that you can point to and say, somebody worked overtime to get that just right. And because of that, the panoply of things that it does wrong aren't funny. And they aren't funny for the same reason anything else isn't funny. You're expecting them. The reason we laugh when entire scenes are shot out of focus in The Room is because The Room is trying to be a good movie, and we don't understand how this kind of error could happen in a movie that is trying to be good. King's Game is not trying to be a good anime. It's trying to be a paycheck. So, of course the dialogue is terrible. Of course the timeline makes no sense. Of course it's going to try to pretend that this four-legged animation error is a dog. Why would we expect anything else? It's a bad show. And when a show gives you what you expect, that is, almost by definition, not funny. Comedy is a reversal of expectation, and that's why in King's Game, when a character doesn't react to being on fire until they can tell the main character everything they need to say, it's edgy and boring, but in Lost Song, it's hilarious. I don't know who it was on the staff that cared about Lost Song as much as they did, but my life is so much better for their existing. This anime, which nobody watched and which nobody should watch, is the epitome of what happens when your ambitions outgrow your ability. There is so much in Lost Song that is so close to being so good, but it never quite comes together the way it wants to. And the result is this glorious melange of confusion and animation errors and plot holes with flying horses and time loops and a literal TED Talk about the moon falling down to Earth because the future reincarnation of the girlfriend of the previous reincarnation of the current person giving the TED Talk will someday sing a magic song to end life on the planet because she's sad she set her boyfriend on fire, and that is a plot. And I don't know what the people in the writing room were thinking when they put this together, whether they thought they were making Lord of the Rings where Gandalf is a bard or Spaceballs with magic songs and dead grandpas, but either way, they were making something that they cared about, and certain parts of the production really make that clear. Even if the animation isn't the most consistent, the visual direction in this series is very good. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to rewatch the series before I wrote this script if I wanted to get the video out by the end of the month, but either there will be a clip here showing you what I mean, or you'll just have to take my word for it. Wow, did you see that? Look at that clip, or lack of clip. Wasn't that amazing? Additionally, the music is bangin', which it better be because it's a show about bards. And despite the deliciously absurd plot, even the writing has its moments of brilliance. There's a scene at the end of the first episode which is hilarious, but which I also honestly believe is one of the most tragic concepts for a death scene that I have ever seen in anything. So this is what came out when I put Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service and Ochako into that Pokemon Fusion thing, and she's the main character of Lost Song. Some knights from the nearby capital found out that she is a magic bard and that is bad, and so they came by and they torched her entire city while she was away. She comes back and she sees her sister laying under a collapsed barn that's on fire. So she kneels down next to her sister and tries to sing the Song of Healing, but can't. Because she's crying too hard because her sister is dying in the ruins of a burning barn. And ain't that just the saddest thing you ever heard? Which just makes it so much sweeter when she immediately starts dramatically bellowing out the Song of Healing right after her sister dies. In what is clearly supposed to be a heart-wrenching display of anguish, but which is turned into a gut-busting comedic moment from the sheer absurdity of it all, and I love that. And I can say the same thing about the absurd visuals of Handshakers or the the nauseating, constantly moving camera of Vatican miracle investigators. Maybe they were trying to make something capital G great, but they succeeded in doing something a lot harder. I've watched a lot of capital G great shows in my day, but most of them didn't make me happy. Lost Song made me happy, and making people happy is something to be proud of, especially if you can do it by accident. So even if it's not the fantasy epic you wanted to make, you still made something beautiful, and that's worth it. I know this video was pretty short compared to my others, but I was pretty dedicated to getting 2 videos out this month, and I think I got my point across. Thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this video and for giving my viewers such a substantial discount on a product that I use every day. Get 83% off a 2-year plan and a bonus month totally free by following the link in the description to surfshark.deals/explanation point. Surfshark is great as a VPN for a lot of reasons, but I mostly use it for its no borders mode. Being able to access Netflix from whatever corner of the world I want is pretty handy considering how randomly distributed their region-locked content seems to be. Not to mention the whitelister, which lets me designate any apps and websites I want to bypass the VPN, and the Clean Web Ad Blocker / anti-malware feature, which is built into Surfshark and is pretty handy because I don't like ads and malware, he says in his unblockable ad. And if you try it out and it's not for you, then it comes with a handy 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked, because Surfshark values your privacy. Again, that's surfshark.deals/explanation point, link in the description. Thanks, as always, to my lovely patrons, especially today's lucky patron, who is Paradox Terminal. How could this happen to me? Who's been pledging at the $5 level for the last 11 months. Here's to our upcoming Patreon anniversary. And I hope that you've enjoyed all the unused notes and scripts that your tier has access to. Thank you for your support. And finally, thank you, the viewer. I literally could not do this without you. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, surfshark.deals/explanation point, link in the description. And until next time, this has been Explanation Point, signing out.